Okay. Hi, Jin, Jinte.
Yes, Jente.
Jinte,
Hi,
oh,
Kenny.
yeah, that's my name. I'm Kenny from Bowling Music. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine. Fine. Are you in the Belgium right now?
I am, and it's summer here, but it's raining a lot,
Okay.
so it's a depressing morning. But I'm happy to talk to you.
Yeah, yeah. Nice to meet you too. In the Brussels or somewhere?
Yes, in Ghent. Yeah, that's close.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about before we talk about your new song. Don't get me wrong. I just want to know about your name is what is J? You use J.Bernardt, it's and but your real name is Jinte. So why you choose that name as
Well,
an artist?
first of all, most of the people can't pronounce my name. It's
Yes.
Jente de Pre. It's really difficult,
Ah,
especially
I
in
see.
France and England. So I chose my fourth name. I have four names,
Okay.
first names, and Bernard is one of them. And I think as a solo artist, you want to stay close to yourself, choose a name
Okay.
for yourself, but it helps when it's a little bit different than what your friends call you, or what real life name. So I chose Jay is from Yinta, of course, and Bernard is my fourth name. So it's actually still
Okay.
my name, but it feels like an artist name.
I see. I see. Okay. So let's talk about your new song. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I heard that
Yes.
song and it's already and it's so cool. It's so cool. And what's you trying to say about with the song? Don't get me wrong. What this song is about?
Well, it talks. The whole album is about a breakup.
Mm.
So it's about the connection between two people that goes away, of course. And I think in the whole album, you get every kind of situation that leads to a breakup. And don't get me wrong, talks about the how difficult it is to have good communication between two people, because we always think we communicate well, but we don't. And it yeah, that's the whole idea, that actually you want to connect, but because of using the wrong words, or expressing the wrong emotions, you disconnect from each other. So it's about the miscommunication, actually.
Okay. So this is the one of your song from your second album, right? Contigo, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
So yeah,
why you choose this song as a single? Yes, any
well,
reason?
you have to know that artists, most of the time, they just write an album, and then it's
Mm,
the music industry who chooses the singles.
okay, I
Because
see.
I mean, for me, it's always about the album. It's a whole story, and there's different chapters, and there's a beginning and an ending. And of course, you have to promote your music through singles for Spotify or the radio, or but I see it as a teaser to lure people in to listen to my album. And this, I think, we chose this one because it's up tempo. Most of the songs on the album are a bit lower paced. Um, and I mean, it's a rock track. It's nice. I like the fact that it has such a vivid vibe. And I mean, I think it's easy for people to listen to it and to enjoy it, and then maybe discover the rest of the album.
So, okay. So you already prepared for a next single after this one?
For what? For next?
Yeah, next single maybe after Don't Get Me Wrong. You already just
Yeah, every song. I mean, we've used Taxi as well, and Last Waltz. Yeah, they're all very different songs, but very important songs for me. So yeah, my main goal is that everyone hears the whole album, because I worked hard on it, and Yeah, every song I put on the album is very important for me.
Okay. Okay, let's talk again about Don't Get Me Wrong. I heard and I already seen the music video,
Yeah.
but I just want to know about the music is like a funk element and also like a little bit orchestra. Maybe you can tell me more about the process writing the song and the ideas.
Well, first of all, I think for this album, I wanted to create a sort of indie music, indie
Mm,
pop,
yeah,
alt pop music, and but I also wanted to have a strong cinematographic feel to it.
yeah,
So because of that, there's throughout the whole album, there's a lot of orchestral stuff, mainly
yeah,
violins, to have
yes,
a sort of spaghetti western vibe to it. Also, for example, the surf guitars that are in it, it's also a reference to those spaghetti westerns in a way. So, and don't get me wrong, there's like this. It started off with the groove, of course. It's like a dusty four to the floor groove with the jazzy drum on top of it, and I mean, it also comes down to a rock band in a way in the beginning. And then for the bridge, I mean, a whole orchestra kicks in and it gives you a totally different, a different vibe for the bridge. And yeah, I really like to play with those elements. The fact that you have sort of a small rock band, bass, drum, guitar, vocals, and then there's a whole orchestra behind it. I think it gives something really special to indie or pop music.
okay. So is about your album Contigo is don't get me wrong is represent the whole album or is I don't uh, I haven't listened all the album.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. To the rest
how
of it.
about this
Well,
song? Yeah. The
well, this
album
song
I mean.
is, yeah. I think the rest of the album is.
Mm,
Well, I invite you to listen to it because
yeah, yeah.
it talks about all the different phases of a breakup. I think this song is a bit angry and a bit, you want to still want
Okay.
to connect. And there are other songs that are talking about the acceptance or the beauty of it, and it's more more romantic maybe. It's never really cheesy, um, but it's I think the whole album is a balance between up tempo and then really cinematographic songs. Like the end song is really 5 minutes and a half and a whole orchestral ending. Yeah, I really try to say a lot in this album. So I wouldn't say "Don't Get Me Wrong" is representing the album. It's one of the um, songs that kicks it off because it's the third song on the album to get you into the album, and then yeah, I mean you should listen to it. It's like every phase: anger, uh, depression, acceptance is represented by a song on this album. And I think "Don't Get Me Wrong" is still fighting for your relationship and trying to explain what goes wrong.
I see. I see. So I'm interesting about the artwork concept that the album is. You looking at the some like a ball or globe. What is the meaning of the artwork? Is describe
Into
something? Yeah.
it's an into the other
Yeah.
universe.
Oh, I see.
No, actually, I think this album is like an introspective album. So I'm
Yes.
thinking about everything that happened, and you can represent that by looking in the mirror, like
Yes.
having the confrontation with yourself. Of course, what you see is not the truth, and so we had the globe, which if you look into a globe, your face is completely distorted or disformed,
Yes.
and actually. it represents how chaotic I felt at the time, and that whatever you think is not the truth. It's completely out of balance, and I think it's just a visual representation of what I sing about on the album. I try to be introspective and try to understand what is happening, but the only thing I see is a distortion of the reality. It sounds very serious, but in the end, it's just a ball I look into.
Okay. So is that your idea or some?
Well, it's a friend of mine
Okay.
who makes the photographs. He's been a friend of mine since forever, and he's a real good photographer. And what I liked about him is the fact he wanted to create like a painting, like a Baroque painting. Because nowadays all the covers are flashy and lots of colors and whatever. And he really wanted to make like a sort of Baroque painting as a picture. So it was his idea to do all of this, and I said yes.
Yeah, that's great picture. Okay, now I want to know about your influence in music. Is there any musician or a band or something you influence your music?
There is, of course. I mean, it depends. I've been songwriting for so many years now, so every album there are new influences. I think I really like the old school bands from, you know, the Beatles to
Okay.
the Rolling Stones, all the 60s, the Doors. Together with, you know, the old school songwriting, I think you can hear it that my songwriting is a bit old school. It's like the, you know, the Bob Dylan era or John Lennon or up to Nick Cave or Leonard Cohen.
Okay.
These are all influences for the vibe, but I think, you know, I've also grown up with Nirvana and so that's also an influence. As a teenager, I was really into the grunge music. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of pop music I really love, like hip hop and
Mhm.
R&B, for example. And I think some of the songs on the album, especially my previous album, you can hear that I really love groove. But for this album, I think, um, for example, Ennio Morricone was
Okay.
not a direct influence because I already knew him a long time, but I think throughout finishing this record, I should say like yes, I used a lot of references to him. He also passed away recently, so it's maybe you know a last salute to him. Um, and I don't know, even Lana Del Rey or Beyonce are influences.
Okay.
I mean, I listen to it all,
Many, many
and
musicians. So.
yeah, musicians, not really. Um, no, I've been listening like when I was finishing the album. The only two bands I listened, no, three bands that I listened to was Roy Orbison,
Okay.
Salt, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Salt,
All right,
and
all right. So
Kruambing.
I see, I see. Okay. So let's uh I'm gonna go back to Contigo again. It takes from a Spanish, right? If I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So what it really mean? Contigo? I don't know. So why you choose Contigo as the title of your album?
Well, I had this Spanish word contigo,
Mm.
which means with you,
Oh
throughout the whole
yeah,
album
yeah.
already. So I sing it a lot in the album, like in the backing. It's like
Mm.
contigo, and it means with you, and that's because it's actually a breakup album. So actually, I'm saying goodbye. But in that sense, the paradox is that it's the last time I'm gonna sing about stories about with you, with my ex partner, of course. So it's a paradoxical way of saying goodbye. And I it's Spanish because I traveled a lot when I was writing it, and I was in Spain on a beach, and I thought I'm gonna use the Spanish word. It's also more beautiful than with you. Contigo, it sounds better, no?
Okay. So yeah. So that's the reason why you choose the Contigo as the title of the album.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in
Yeah,
Spanish, in Spain maybe.
yeah, and I think it makes sense. I mean, it's 10 monologues to my ex, where I talk about the stories with her, so with you. They're directed to her, and so yeah, it was no, the title was there from the beginning.
Okay. Okay, Jin, after you release new album and new song, do you have any plan to go tour or make concert or showcase somewhere? Or maybe you can go to Indonesia someday. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's been released 2 months now, so I've been touring a little bit, mainly in Europe now, and we have a lot of summer festivals, and this autumn, winter, we do a crazy European tour. But the purpose is indeed to, like, next year, to maybe go to places I've never been to, which is Indonesia. I would love to come and play. Yeah, I mean, it's you make music in your room, you sing about your own life, but the purpose of the music is to connect with people everywhere. So I actually love playing live the most, because you see the reaction to what the music means to people, and it's like a celebration of life in a way. So the songs also change throughout the whole tour, and it becomes something else. So yeah, I'm gonna tour for, I think, a year, 2 years, and I would love to come to Indonesia. We'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you performing here.
Yeah, would be cool, right?
Yeah. Okay, Jinte, maybe you have any message to your listeners or to your fans in Indonesia or in around the world? Maybe you can.
Well, I think, yeah, maybe some people don't know me that well. I also have another band called Balthazar. Maybe some
Yeah.
do know that.
Mm.
I hope you check out my album. I worked hard on it, and I am super proud of it. It talks about a breakup. So if you're going through a breakup, this is your new soundtrack,
Yeah.
where I tell you everything's gonna be all right, and there's sunshine after the rain. And I mean, yeah, I do hope you listen to my music. That's the whole goal, and then maybe we'll see each other at a live concert. Who knows?
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, Jinte, thank you for your time for this station with me, with Kenny from Play Music. It's nice to meet you, and I like your song. Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
and good luck to you.
Thanks, Kenny. Thanks for the attention, and thanks to Bolly Music. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your performing here, especially in
Yeah.
Indonesia.
Yeah, that would be cool. Let's make it work.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you,
udah
Jinte.
Kenny? Okay, thank you. Do you want to take a picture, Kenny?
Yes, of course.
Okay, Yinde, you okay to get the screen capture again? Okay, one,
I'm
two,
ready.
three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you, Tita.
Thank you, Kenny. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, Jay.
Bye-bye.